to Sunflower Parenting, the podcast that explores the fascinating, sometimes challenging, yet at the core of it, immensely rewarding journey of raising children. The sunflower's constant movement to follow the sun symbolizes steadfast love and loyalty. Their bright, radiant appearance connects them to the sun's life-giving energy, making them a symbol of warmth and positivity. As parents, one is constantly striving and making an effort to bring in all these positive qualities in their relationship with their children. In this parenting journey, all of us parents face some questions, some challenges on an ongoing basis. Am I doing the correct thing? Am I spoiling my child? Why is my smart child failing in the academics? Why is my child getting dysregulated for a seemingly small reason? How do I talk effectively with my preteen or my teen? When will my child start doing things independently? What are the various ways I can still feel and stay connected with my adolescents so they feel safe while talking to me and they can share with me what is going on with their life, what is going on in their minds? I have parents asking me, do I take my child to all these extracurricular classes or do I just give them free time? All these are very valid questions. Parents need all the support and guidance they can in this parenting journey that they undertake for their children. As parents, we do not grow up knowing how to parent. So it is a journey we undertake along with our children and we grow in this journey with them. When the child is a baby, we have to learn how to parent a newborn, how to parent a 1-year-old, how to look after them for their feeding, for the sleep and understand all those small things. When the child is in an early childhood phase, we need to start again and learn about how to play with them, how to bring about all the language development that is needed, how to look for the right school that fits my child's temperament. When it's middle childhood, we need to again up our skills and understand how to be a parent at that time, how to support them in their academics, how to build in the autonomy and the independence that is needed for them to get into their adolescent phase. Parents need all the support and guidance they can get because there is no single parenting manual that teaches us all these things. We grow as parents alongside our children and learn how to support them because there is no one-size-fits-all approach and every child is unique. There are broad guidelines and all of us learn to find our sweet spots under them. And mind you, that does not mean that everything will go as we wish it to be. We need to course correct all along. We need to learn new tools as our children grow, so we always remain pertinent in our approach in their growth and development. In this podcast, it is my effort to share these parenting tools that I have learned in my parenting journey as a mom and as an RCI certified special educator. My name is Ashwini Patil and I am a mother to 2 young adults aged 21 and 19 years. In this episode, I am diving deep into the heart of how parents guide their children. That is, the different parenting styles that parents adopt in their parenting journey. As I said earlier, parenting is a continuous learning process. The journey is an evolution requiring consistent adaptation, regular self-reflection, and course correction as needed. Let's look at the 4 main styles of parenting based on the work of psychologist Diana Baumrind. These are defined by 2 dimensions: responsiveness and demandingness. Responsiveness as in the warmth, the support and the acceptance. Demandingness is the control, the expectations and the supervision. So the first style is the authoritative parenting. High warmth and high expectations. I'll talk about the approach that parents take and the outcome that happens in each of these kinds of parenting. So in authoritative parenting, the approach that parents take is they are supportive, they are engaged, and they listen to their children's perspectives. They set clear rules, clear guidelines, and with clear consequences. They set clear rules and explain the reasons behind them, and they use disciplinary methods which are constructive, like a timeout, rather than methods that are punitive, like yelling or shouting. So what is the outcome of the authoritative parenting? The children develop good self-esteem, strong social skills, and academic success because they are respected in what they do and they have learned the self-regulation skills. So the second method of parenting is the authoritarian parenting, which is low warmth and high expectations. So the outcome in the authoritarian parenting is that the children may become obedient out of fear. They can struggle with independence, decision making, and may have low levels of happiness or self-worth. The third style of parenting is permissive parenting. Think about high warmth and low expectations. So what is the approach of permissive parenting? The parents are loving, nurturing, but they set very few boundaries or expectations. The permissive parents try and avoid confrontations and may act like a friend than a parent. So what is the outcome of permissive parenting? The children may struggle with impulse control, respecting authority, and personal responsibility because they have not been given a structure to develop these skills. So the fourth style of parenting is the neglectful or uninvolved parenting. It is about low warmth and low expectations. The approach here is minimum involvement of the parents with the children in the parenting journey. Parents meet the child's basic needs but offer little emotional support, structure, or supervision that a child needs. It can be due to lack of time, just stress, or a mental health issue, or a lack of interest. So what is the outcome in neglectful parenting? Children often face significant challenges in all areas of development. They feel unloved and lack the necessary foundation for a stable social and emotional development. So after looking at the four styles of parenting, which are authoritative parenting, authoritarian parenting, permissive parenting, and neglectful parenting, what is the outcome? What is the takeaway here? While the authoritative style of parenting is often responsible for the most positive outcome in the child, most of us do not fall into one category or one box. We might lean authoritative during homework time and maybe a bit more towards permissive during a fun weekend outing. During times of stress, a usually authoritative parent may turn into an authoritarian parent. Is that okay? I have done it a few times. Have I taken an approach of my way or highway during my parenting years? Maybe a few times. Yes, it has happened a couple of times due to lack of time to negotiate, to discuss, or at times out of sheer desperation to get the thing done. And I must say that I have forgiven myself for it. Because after it happened, I went back to my child when I had time. I discussed it with them. I have apologized when needed. And we have reflected on what happened and why it happened. And that brings me to the 3 R's of parenting, which are recognize, reconcile, and repair or resolve. One of the greatest learnings in my parenting journey is about focusing on the long-term goal. So if you are a parent of a preteen or a teen now facing some challenges with your child, I encourage you, I invite you to take a step back and reflect on how you want this relationship with the child after say 10 years, 20 years. If at times you have resorted to hitting your child to get a thing done, then it is also a time to rethink that is that going to work in the long run. It is never too late to course correct and to bring in the changes in the ways that we respond to our children. As in any relationship, our positive approach in understanding and empathizing with our children definitely brings them closer to us and more willing to discuss their challenges with us. The goal is not perfection, it is mindfulness. Every moment is an opportunity for a parent and the child to learn together and grow together. So keep learning, keep adapting, and most importantly, keep loving.